Hello everyone, Darren here. I'm just kind of making this video in regards to a question which I'll get to here momentarily. Um, this type of video, it was requested that I make this video. It Again, this is personal opinion. I advertise that my channel is non-biased and completely objective towards the education. So what I've actually decided to do for any videos like that I do this in the future or Q&As and things, I'm going to have just like an off-topic playlist, and that's going to be completely all for videos such as this. It's not going to be for rant videos or anything else. It's just this is where I'll archive these videos for whatever reason. But the question I'd like to get to was this was asked on my Discord, and I'm gonna read it word for word. But I'm also going to post it here on the video, and you guys can read it yourself. Just so that way you have something visual to see. But it was I should think of doing a what would help the game grow video. It apparently this suggestion was given from the recent Q&A video that I did on September 24th, I believe is what it was. And the person was like that too many streamers or YouTubers just whine and complain about the what they want that would fix the game and or make the game grow. So instead, what I'm going to do is my major right now is marketing and sales as per the college that I go to. So I'm not going to instead focus on what would fix the game and bring people back. It's more of like what I think they should do to market the game, bring back some more players, maybe even doing what I'm suggesting will bring back the old players as well. I have no clue yet, but this is just from the limited learning so far that I have had throughout my college, classes. So, what I have right now is just, again, a list of things that I feel written down here that I feel would bring people back or attract people. And it mostly, again, comes down to how you're seen to the community. Again, this is a video game. You're not selling, garage doors or anything. You're not selling actual physical products. You are a video game catering to a community that likes your game. So, again, I'm just going to go down a list here that I've written down. And the first one is going to be openness. And basically, it's like just be more open with the community. You can see that PC, even a little bit more limited than some other games, is more open than what the console branch is. There somehow are still leaks coming out of their super tests. So it's a little bit more open. Those people that are leaking them, as least to my knowledge, is not getting punished for it. Drop hints of what is coming. Build the hype. The thing that I notice is that companies such as Gaijin that makes War Thunder, or Take-Two and Rockstar that builds GTA, they are very good at kind of being a little bit open or building hype with the community. Gaijin is a little bit more open. They like to post on their Instagram of like, hey, look, here's what's coming in the next update. And they might actually have their own little page on the dev blog showing, hey, this is what we're working on. Here's a little bit of backstory. I don't see World of Tanks console having a dev blog until after something has been already dropped. And then Rockstar Take-Two with like GTA 5, they are very, very good at building up the hype for their updates. They might drop, a reveal trailer for the coming update a week before it is, build up the hype for it. And look at what they're doing right now. Gaijin, albeit you could argue whether or not they're competing directly with World of Tanks. I don't know. I haven't paid too much attention to it. And then there's just Rockstar, who's raking in tons of money with the amount of hype and content that they drop per update, albeit it's been slowing down recently with another game being released. And their communities are very, very strong. The next one that I have is cater to the community. Um, Many people come from, various countries and cultures and everything like that. And recently, in like, I believe the past year and a half, maybe even 2 years, on the forums, they removed certain language forums from their roster, whatever it is, to clean up the forums, or there wasn't enough activity. Well, you know, perhaps these people playing the game are physically, they don't go to like a prestigious school in their country to where they learn English as a secondary language or anything like that. You know, you've just eliminated all these people. You're not going to get them going to social media or whatever, because they went to a place to where they had administrators or people part of the company or whatever that spoke their language. Now you just eliminated them, and you're forcing them to come into the English speaking section of the forums, or they're not even going to bother. Um, you know, I'd say bring back the forum space a little bit. I know that really irked a lot of people. Another thing that I keep hearing groans about just from lurking around on various social media sites and the forums is, maybe try and improve the customer service. I don't know exactly how that is run. I don't know if that is completely like a console branch thing there. For all I know, it's just part of customer service for the wargaming, as a whole. But, maybe make customer service be a little bit more of a pleasurable, efficient experience and not something everyone hates doing. So, maybe keep that in mind as well. Another thing I'd like to mention about with the community is we are one community. We are World of Tanks console. Start pushing for that crossplay there. It. Looking at it now, and maybe I'm using an outdated term, or maybe I'm actually hitting the nail on the head there. But I feel like we are a segregated community within an already segregated community. I don't see us, NA or Europe complaining about, being different or whatever it is on World of Tanks PC. Blitz, it's Blitz. It's a mobile game. You can pretty much play it as long as you can download it. That is one community. World of Tanks PC, they consider themselves one community because they play the same game. And then there's us. We're World of Tanks console. We've got PlayStation users, and then we've got Xbox users. We're already segregated. Push for the crossplay. So many games are already, doing the crossplay. Make us one big community now. I don't understand that you guys. The development team in Chicago already says they have crossplay. They have it within their office. Granted, I'm assuming that's on LAN or on one network. But if you guys are able to do it in your office, then push to have it done now. If you're not going to drop 360 support or whatever that stuff is that people ask for, then push for the one thing that is the ultimate demanding thing. Call of Duty Modern Warfare just released it. They're having PlayStation, Xbox, and PC crossplay on that one game alone. And yet then there's just World of Tanks console that are still segregated. As far as I know, we're the only segregated game in a segregated or already segregated game community. It just, I don't, grow us together, bring us closer together. Moving on to probably what some people consider the juicy bits is content. Recently, at least this year, toned down the amount of ops. I love the game. I absolutely enjoy playing the game. Probably if it wasn't for World of Tanks console, I would have stopped playing video games altogether. But even right now, I'm kind of getting burned out with the amount of ops. Currently, I am playing the game, trying to grind for this chisel op. Granted, I could choose that. But then there's also trying to do this year-long op in stages to where I have to still get these points or whatever it is throughout this entire year. And I'm getting a tier 10 tank at the end. But again, it's like I'm still having to grind this. And these are ops on top of ops. It's not, we aren't taking breaks to just let everyone breathe. Tone it down a bit. That's probably why a lot of people are, probably taking a break this year, is because they're just, they're over. It feels like a second job. And, for those that probably are working two jobs, this feels like a third job. Give people a break. Um, I guess a follow suit is if you guys aren't going to do this again next year, then probably spread out the amount of earn ops you do if you're going to bring those back. Instead of having an earn op every month or month and a half, and make it for every 3 months there's one earn op, and it might be that one earn op will still only last a month. So bring it down to, it's like there will be four earn ops in 1 year there, and that way it gives 2 months break in between each earn op. Let people breathe. um just an oversaturation of ops tires people out and makes people want to just stop playing and go play something different. I know for a fact, and I will admit it, that I play, I stream, I'll grind whatever it is during the stream, maybe a little bit before as a warm up. But as soon as I'm done streaming, I'm done playing the game that night. I will go and play War Thunder airplanes, or screw around in little test drive thing on Armored Warfare, whatever the abandoned other tank game there is here on console, or I'll just go play some campaign missions on some other video games, or just go watch X-Files. I mean, I'm getting burned out with these ops. Now, the next thing, the time release things for premium. I stopped caring at this point. I still do care about the prices. The prices, when it went from okay, pretty respectable, to outrageously stupid. At this point, it's like, okay, they're not going to do away with that anytime soon. But these release bundles, people have been asking for this. Not everyone can afford to do this, and maybe some people just, they don't want to wait a month for this tank, but yet at the same time, they don't want to be shoving out $75 or whatever for a tank or a bundle that they don't want. So if you're going to do the bundle stages where you got like the 3 ones with stuff added to it, and then the 4th one with just the tank, make it to where, regardless of the time bundle stages, the base package is released at the same time as like the ultimate one, and then just keep the base package all the way through till the time frame for that tank being in the store runs out. And that's one thing that a lot of people have been complaining about, and I haven't said anything, but I feel that is something that a lot of people would welcome, aside from lowering the prices again. But again, you're still a company, you still got to make money. I kind of understand that, but again, I don't know your inner workings all the way as to why the prices were bumped up. Now, the next thing, again, this leads a little bit back to the community and as a cultural basis. I understand that you aren't a very, very big development team, and that, obviously World of Tanks PC has a lot more people. But, instead of focusing on dumping, like more premium tanks or whatever it is, or things like that, or whatever new special event you're going to have, make more tech trees. I think I said this in a Q&A, but, I personally do not care about, copy paste tanks. I don't know why people are still irked about that. You guys or people complain when it's like, oh, we just released the Polish line, but they're all fake past tier 4. And blah 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 blah. They're fake. Why can't you come up with something original? Well, again, the country probably had some actual tanks that they could use, but you guys were complaining so much about not wanting copy paste. We had to make things up. Well, wargaming, blah 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 blah. Like, one or the other. Honestly, one or the other. Either be happy that they at least came up with like a tech tree that is different, or be happy that they came up with a historical tech tree. Why are you complaining about? I can't even fathom. I'm sorry. Me personally, I'm indifferent. Just bring me new tech trees. I do not care if the tech tree has another Stewart or another Sherman or another T-54 variant. I do not care. Just bring in more content tech trees. I'm sure you could probably add in a couple tech trees. I'm sorry for bumping this, by the way. I'm sure you could bring in a couple tech trees without actually having to do a whole lot of work there. The A lot of people in this game, some countries are not represented in the game, but they still have some pretty sturdy um, indigenous tank designs, like the Swiss, for example. Like we have the Panzer 58 Mutts. I'm sure you could make a mini line out of some of the Strixvon or some other stuff that they might have done, but the but you could easily make a tier 8 through 9 just by adding a 105 L7 to the Panzer 58 and giving some more aesthetical stuff or some armor and speed buffs. There you go. You magically just created tiers 8 through 9 on a Swiss line. But again, I'm going to drop a couple examples here of some other countries that you could easily probably make. Some of them do have some indigenous tank designs you could probably drop in as well. But that is what I think. Bring in the more content. Represent the countries that a lot of people from your community play from. It shouldn't be honestly that hard there. And again, leading back to the copy paste tanks, I don't care if there's another Sherman or a Stewart or whatever, as long as at least maybe, even if it's the characteristics of that tank are not historical, like make it different from what's already there. I know the Chinese Stewart has a different gun than the American and British Stewarts. I know the American Stewart has like an auto gun to where it fires 4 shots or 3 or 4 shots every time you pull the trigger. And then I think the British Stewart's just a regular Stewart. All 4 are different. Like the Chinese one shoots heavier, is harder hitting. Excuse me. So, make them different. Or, if you have to make up tanks, at least, throw in a couple of historical tanks as premiums or whatever it is. But, that's my take on what I think would bring back the player base. Looking back, it seems a little bit more like a rant of what I think wargaming should do. But again, this is what I feel like would attract people, is the more content you come out, the less job-like you make it feel, and the more open and clear cut you are with your community, I feel would probably be very important. If nothing else, be way more open with the community. I noticed that the overviews I think were good. The monthly overviews. Hey, here's what's coming for a month, and then you guys stop doing that, and then now you're bringing them back, which I think is good. But, being super secret squirrel with the community never does very well for games. I noticed that the strongest games with the strongest following community are the ones that communicate with their community and tell them, yeah, we know there's something wrong, or hey, look, here's what's coming down in the pipeline. Here, we're going to throw you a bone, build up the hype. If nothing else, at least be more, open with your community, because again, they're the ones playing your game. They're the ones buying things to continue to play your game. And if you just shut them out and we'll be like, we're going to drop you an update when we feel like we're going to drop an update, or we're just going to close our doors and not tell you what we're doing, you don't really build a whole lot of trust with that community. It almost could come off as shady. And there's already rumors about that around, that the company as a whole is very shady, at least in the console branch. I still see some strong people defending PC, saying they're more open than console, but the overwhelmingly I have seen that console branch is very, very shady in terms of their development and not really telling the community what they're doing. I know that when the mech event dropped, a lot of people were angry about it because, it's like, this is World of Tanks. I get that you're kind of bringing something back from what you used to be, but you're no longer what you used to be. Focus on what we want, not something that you want to just remember the good old days. And that kind of irked a lot of people. That's mainly my 2 cents on it. This video is a little bit long, but for those that like to listen to it, thanks thank you guys for listening to this. But I believe I have answered the question that was asked to me, and look forward to regular scheduled programming the rest of this week and everything. Until next time, this has been Darren, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.